Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to be here. I'd like to thank Satcom Vision for inviting me to present at this significant event. I've been with Iridium for 5 years, cover all areas of our business, supporting our reseller channel and developing opportunities. And I particularly cover the humanitarian sector. So my presentation really is more of a commercial view rather than technical. So be kind to me with some of the questions coming in. For those that may not be aware, Iridium Communications is a low Earth orbit mobile satellite services operator utilizing the L-band spectrum. The satellites are at a height of 485 miles, traveling at 17,000 miles per hour and orbit the Earth every 100 minutes. In the current form, Iridium has been operating since the year 2000 and has accumulated over 1.48 million subscribers currently. I think we'll be reporting more than that probably in the next month. We have a total revenue of $583 million, a very large ecosystem of more than 450 partners, and employ more than 530 people, mainly in the USA, but also in Europe, Asia, and Australia. Iridium has 66 satellites in orbit, and we provide total global coverage from pole to pole, so we do allow for the penguins. Whilst this is a big differentiator for us compared to our current main competition, in terms of a technical highlight, I'd have to say is our crosslinks. These allow communication from the device up to the satellite, and then the passing of the signal across multiple satellites via the crosslinks to land at our single gateway in Arizona. Our competitors largely need multiple gateways with view to the local satellite to capture the signal. Therefore, we do not need additional infrastructure to allow our satellites to always have view of a gateway. We can rely on that single one. I was asked to share a commercial highlight within the presentation, and I thought about it for a while, but I suppose I have to say for this year, it's been our stellar stock performance, which has seen the share price go from $17 to as high as $55 within 1 year. So that really has been a significant performance. Really, this has stemmed from our satellite constellation replacement program, Iridium Next, which completed in 2019. Until then, really, we were essentially a voice and IoT provider running a fleet of increasingly aging satellites. However, the replacement with an up-to-date, high-performing constellation has really turned us into a broadband IP data provider, in addition to voice, IoT, PTT, and data solutions. The next program costs $3 billion. I think we got some good rates from SpaceX at the beginning, and comprised the launch of 81 satellites, including spares, via 8 rocket launches of the SpaceX Falcon 9. I think our most famous one was the one the one where they first landed the booster rocket back onto the sea. So this underpins our 5-year vision and beyond, with a minimum design life of 12.5 years for the constellation. Our previous constellation had a design life of 7 years and actually lasted over 20. So this new constellation allows us to plan, develop, and launch products with the luxury of an existing network and customer base. I missed a slide. This slide shows a snapshot of our product range. The top and bottom rows show existing products. The middle row serves as mid-band, which shows what is coming in the next 5 years, well, in fact, much sooner than that. Our historic success has been based on handset sales for mainly telephony applications. This has moved to add PTT to the handset. I'll cover that on a separate slide later. Plus, we launched Iridium Go, which is a Wi-Fi hotspot to allow smartphone connection, although again, mainly for voice applications based on using our legacy network. IoT has been a huge growth area for us. Over half of our subscribers now are using short burst data service. We have high profile users such as Caterpillar, Doosan, Hitachi, etc., using this service to track and monitor their assets globally. We also have Garmin, a name that no doubt all of you are aware of, who've made a very successful range of handheld personnel tracker and messaging devices using our short burst data modem called InReach. All of these products operated on our old satellite constellation. Of course, are forward compatible to work on the new, only with a better performance as a result of new technology. The first range of new products designed for specific operation with the next constellation was our Certus 700 range. This provides a terminal for land, maritime, and aviation applications, comprising 3 high-quality voice lines and an IP data connection offering up to 704 kilobits per second. And these have been commercially available since early 2019. Our Certus mid-band products, which are the center within the slide, will begin commercial launch from mid this year onwards. We have a number of partners producing finished products based on developing our 9770 modem, which offers IP data at 22 kilobits up and 88K down, in addition to 2 high-quality voice lines. So these products will be packaged to suit various applications. For instance, we may see something like a Go device, but this time with usable data to allow smartphones to access WhatsApp and other messaging platforms. Also to work with email applications. So for the first time, users can operate as if they're in an office while on the move, outside of cellular coverage. But crucially, really, it's on a small device that can be hand carried with a decent battery life and at low cost. A vehicle option will be included, so you can consider 4 people in a vehicle connected via Wi-Fi to the Iridium hub, all sending WhatsApp messages, and that's something that's particularly of interest in the humanitarian sector. Products will be available for the control of unmanned vehicles, such as drones. We'll have utilities monitoring applications, and many IoT requirements where more than just short messages are required. The list of applications for these new products goes on and on, really. And then you can expect to see a new handheld phone, which will combine more usable data with a high quality telephony afforded by Certus. And this is on the roadmap for the next 5 years. I was asked to identify an Iridium advantage, how we differentiate from our competition. I mentioned some of this, true global coverage, crosslinks, low latency, small antennas, ability to operate on the move. But I think really I'd have to choose a non-technical one, which is the fact that we stick to our wholesale model, where we only sell through authorized partners. We do not deal directly with end users. We have neither the infrastructure or desire to do this. We have over 450 partners that either sell our products and services that Iridium manufacture, or if they've taken our core components and developed a product to meet their and others' needs. Our partners have become used to not having to fear competing with their own provider, and therefore they opened up to us to allow joint approaches to customers where Iridium supports their sales efforts. And for sure that this is not a model that's shared with all of our competitors. I was asked to highlight one particular commercial success, and I would have to choose our PTT service. Iridium PTT launched over 5 years ago, and to be brutally honest, it was not able to deliver the required satisfactory service at first launch. It's probably taken 3 of those years to refine, tweak, and upgrade the service to a point now where it works fantastically, and we are seeing the commercial rewards for this. PTT is essentially a global 2-way radio service, allowing one button press instant communications from anywhere on the planet to anywhere else on the planet. So for instance, a polar explorer or a penguin in the Arctic could press the PTT button and talk directly to his control center in London and vice versa, just as if they were using a local walkie-talkie radio type system. The PTT functionality has been integrated into our Iridium Extreme telephony handsets to provide a combined telephone and PTT handheld device, so essentially a telephone and a radio. Plus we've had ICOM and Kinetic manufacture a PTT-only radio, which operates on our network. I think if you consider the path the signal has to take to provide the communication described, is quite frankly amazing. Person in the Arctic presses a button, the signal goes up to the satellite, crosses multiple other satellites before coming down to our gateway in Arizona. It is then processed in the gateway before being sent up to the nearest satellite again, transferring across multiple satellites before being transmitted to the user device in London, and all with a typical half-second latency. So for sure, we consider PTT a commercial and a technical success. I think I'm probably close to the end of my allocated time, and this is my last slide. So really, I'd like to leave you with a takeaway for remembering the Iridium proposition. Iridium is fully functioning and profitable now. We are future-proof for an estimated minimum 15 years. We work everywhere. We cover most land, maritime, and aviation verticals. We utilize small antennas and terminals, which keeps costs down. We have a suite of products to cover voice, PTT, data, and IoT applications. And we have a roadmap of new products planned and soon to be launched. So I'm hopeful that the future is very bright. Thank you.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Sorry, thanks very much. You've mentioned that the shares have gone up significantly this year, which is out of character with the satellite communication business because most other operators have seen their shares go down. Can you tell us why do you think this has happened?
Well, it's certainly not an overnight success story. It's probably a 30-year overnight success story. I think most of you will be aware of the history of Iridium 1 and what happened in 1998. So really, I think we have to say that the catalyst is our new network. That's enabled us to produce a growing universe of products to meet multiple needs. And I think particularly of late in this year was the acceptance of Iridium as a maritime GNDSS provider. So, you know, that this status was a great confirmation for the reliability and longevity of the network. And I think those three factors really have contributed.
Thank you, Harvey. So the next question is from Dan Walker. Does Iridium have a helicopter connectivity roadmap? If so, could you tell us about the key challenges, some of the key challenges?
Okay, well, you're probably not speaking to the right person for that question because aviation within Iridium is really a separate division. A lot of regulation, technical differences between our standard products. So certainly if Dan wants to contact me, if he's anything specific, then I can pass him on to the relevant person. But all I can really comment on is, yes, we will be having solutions for helicopters with our new Certus products, and they're not too far from market.
Okay, there's a question from Andy Smith. I think it's, what will Iridium do when Inmarsat react to the higher speed L-band services?
Okay. Well, I suppose that could be a question both technically and commercially. I think technically we will be sticking at the 704 kilobits per second that we're offering currently with Certus. I don't believe that we'll be looking to offer a higher throughput than that. Commercially, then again, I guess that's above my pay grade. But we all look to see what's happening to sales and react if necessary. But I think we've got a compelling proposition, and at this time, I think we're happy with our performance and our rollout. So, yeah, things can change, but I think we're happy with the status quo.
You've mentioned that the lifetime of the satellite has gone up to 12.5 years, I believe. I think you're probably the first LEO operator to extend the lifetime from 7 years to 12.5. Can you tell us what that has entailed, how you've managed to do it?
Well, I think experience helps, having had a previous network to draw upon, but we also have to say that those satellites that went up in 1997, 98 with a design life of 7 years, actually some of them, most of them, lasted over 20. So I think that there is some secret sauce within that, which I wouldn't know about, but for sure I know that components have been chosen that have been shown to be show longevity in a space situation. So I'm sure the choice of components is a big part of that. But certainly we will have built on the experience of the first network, I think really is that answer.
Okay, I think we'll have to close there. The slot is over. Thank you very much, Harvey.